People say, just change your nightly routine. Go for a walk, drink tea, take a bath, distract yourself. And while those things can help, I personally don't think they work very well if the desire to drink is still stronger than the desire not to drink. Because if alcohol still feels emotionally rewarding, your brain will usually pull you right back toward it. I know because my first serious attempt to quit drinking lasted 9 months. 9 months. I tried my best not to think about drinking. I stopped socialising. I stayed home, and for a while, all was well. I honestly thought I was cured. Then one night I opened a fake beer, and before long I relapsed into the real thing. But strangely, that relapse may have been the thing that finally saved me. There's a huge difference between wanting to stop drinking, daydreaming about stopping, hoping you'll stop someday, and reaching the point where you emotionally cannot tolerate what alcohol is doing to you anymore. That's a very different feeling. And for me, that shift changed everything. I personally think most people eventually reach some kind of emotional point of no return. You know, what most people call rock bottom. But rock bottom doesn't always mean losing a house or ending up in jail, public humiliation or total catastrophe. Sometimes rock bottom is quieter. Sometimes it's simply waking up one morning and realising, I cannot keep living like this. For me, that moment came after getting so horribly sick from alcohol poisoning that the thought of drinking again felt absolutely revolting. And strangely, that fear stayed with me. It became my strongest somatic marker. Whenever my brain started daydreaming about drinking again, I deliberately brought that horrible memory back to the surface. One thing I don't think people talk about enough is after you stop drinking and your body starts healing, you begin feeling better, you sleep better, you feel calmer, you look better, and life starts improving. And strangely, that's often when those dangerous little thoughts can return. The brain starts wondering about, oh, maybe I could have just one. It might be fun. I'm probably okay now. And the important thing is, the thought itself is not the problem. You don't panic over the thought. You recognise you have the thought, and then you drag up your somatic marker. Bring that immediately to the surface, and that gets rid of that urge. Gets rid of that horrible memory. The sickness, that regret and the emotional pain. It takes care of it by bringing it to the surface. And then suddenly, that fantasy collapses like a house of cards. Because my brain's no longer, easy for me to say, because my brain no longer only remembers the temporary comfort of alcohol, it also remembers the suffering attached to it. Now then, I wish I could say fear alone creates lasting sobriety like it has for me. Only you will know what finally drives your change, your lasting change. But for many people, lasting sobriety begins when the emotional cost of drinking finally becomes heavier than the emotional comfort that alcohol temporarily provides. That was the turning point for me. And maybe if you're watching this today, you're closer to that turning point than you realise. Live better, sober.